How long does it take the property acquisition process? How long does it take? This particular thing I'm about to talk about in this video has caused a lot of issues in the real estate space, right? And it's important that we talk about it because some people they after because we know most clients can be like this after the money is paid they begin to hurry you up like where's our papers, where are our documents, when is complete handover, when would that happen, and all of that. And because this information isn't put out before payment is made most of the time, we understand that pressure that comes from you the client. And that's why in this video the aim is to make you understand that there is a process and what is likely to take when you're buying land, when you're buying a house, and when you're buying a house as a third party. By third party, we mean you're buying from someone who has bought and wants to sell, and probably or perhaps we are selling for that person. So there is a process and time it will take for each of these cases. If it's land, if it's a house, you're buying straight from the developer or you're buying from someone who has bought already. There is a process to it. So in this video, we're going to tell you what it's like. But before I go into telling you what it's like typically for each of these, something happened and um, maybe you can relate. It was a case where the buyer used a payment plan to purchase a property. It was an 8-month payment plan, right? And when this client made the last payment and the 8th month for the property, was buying land actually. So when he made the last payment, he expected that his documents be given to him immediately. Why? This was his logic. He was like, so I've been paying my for this property over 8 months. So in 8 months, you people didn't get my documents ready so that immediately I make the last payment, you hand it to me. What you should understand is that processing of your documents begin after complete payment. I mean, you could decide to give up on the last payment on the 7th month, right? And complete payment verifies that yes, it's now totally yours. So you also need to understand that because he was very furious that how can in 8 months, 8 whole months, and my document is not ready? No, sir. It's after the completion of your payment. It's important that you know that, right? And other cases. Now let's just jump straight into this. If you're buying land, it takes typically 7 to 14 days. That's one week to 2 weeks to get your documents processed. Your when you complete your payment, remember when completion of payment is made to get your documents because if there's a deed, we need to process the deed with the lawyer and other documents that we need to get duly from the government, right? It takes typically, if it were just in our authority to handle everything, we don't need to work with other third parties like lawyers and all. Maybe it would have been faster, but when you're buying land, it takes typically 7 to 14 days for your documents to be processed and handed over to you for complete ownership, right? That is for land. And if you're buying property and you're buying a house, in this case, straight from the developer. So here in Abuja, when you buy houses, right, if it's an off plan, you're going to get a deed, of course. And then if there's any other document, it takes typically, this is when you're buying straight from the developer, it's not a third party sale. It's going to take typically the same 14 days to 21 days. Sometimes it's even shorter, but it can be longer than 3 weeks. Now, what about if it's a complete building already? It's built, fully finished. How long does it take for me to get my document? The same 7 to 21 days maximum. If it's fully finished, you just need to make your payments and get your documents. We get the lawyer, do all they need to do, and get it handed over to you. So that is what it takes. Now, it's important I say this one. How about it's a third party? A third party is you're not buying straight from the developer or those who own the building. You're buying from someone who has bought previously. Now, it takes a little bit. The timing is different because it depends on the body as well. For instance, what happened one time, we're selling for someone and we had to go to the developers, open up a file for the client, then do a whole lot. It depends on how fast the company we are working with. It's also dicey, but typically it takes also 7 to 14 days to process this. So you need to understand this so that you don't mount a whole lot of pressure on the realtor you're working with so that they don't make mistakes for you. If this is well understood, you're going to go through the process rightly and you get the right documents, because sometimes when you mount pressure on certain realtors, your realtor, in a bid to do things well fast for you, they may do it fast and not do it well, and in the long run you are likely to have issues. So understand that it takes typically 7 to 21 days for documents for land, house, fully finished or off plans or third party sales. It's important that you know this so that you get the best for yourself. The delay is not anything you should be afraid of. It's not a scam, okay? Just trust that in due process you will get your documents. So yes, we've answered that questions for you. If you always had doubts on this video will help you know that, oh, there's actually time attached to this, that you finish, that you paid in 12 months or you paid in 18 months or even 24 months payment plan. It doesn't mean that immediately you finish it was ready. That it's still, no, it's on completion of payment. It's important that you know that. Just so you know, we have the best of off plans, land, and fully finished houses right here in Abuja. And if you want to get any of that for yourself, all you have to do is just call the phone number on your screen and we will rightly guide you through the process and get you the best that suits your need, your budget, and your lifestyle. See you in the next video.